committee here.
Real quick, I just want to make sure everybody understands where this came from. Oftentimes we hear that, you know, where is America going? Where are the values of the next generation? And from my view, this recall started by two organizations, one being Atlas PAC, which is led by in all things considered, some pretty young Americans.
Thank you.
And the Young Republican Federation of California, who stood up and said no more.
You're right.
And so for all those people to think, well, what is going to happen in this next generation? Well, the next generation is going to stand up for the same values that our predecessors have. And that brings me to where we are today, where I'm very honored to be able to introduce somebody who has given us so very much, who has, you know, oftentimes we see this and we go to the ballot box and you'll see somebody's ballot designation and it will say retired something, right? Retired assemblyman, retired state senator, retired whatever they may be.
Or just tired state senator.
Just tired. Well, we have an opportunity to, Dick Mountjoy has that title of retired state senator, but unlike others, he's deserved it. He has been in this fight for longer than most of us have been alive as a congressman. He has been standing up for what is right, and quite honestly, he's earned his title as retired. But when the battle came, like George Washington, he came out of retirement and said, you know what, I will stand there. I will stand firm, and I will have a stiff backbone. And that's really what we need in Sacramento. As somebody who fights unions for a living, I can tell you that what we really need is people that recognize that the union interests and the special interests, you need to just stand up for them, and they're just like the schoolyard bully. And they will back down and you will win. And I can think nobody better than somebody who's been doing that for decades. Senator Dick Mountjoy.
Peggy a while ago. I'll tell you a story about it. I was looking when I first went into the state assembly. I didn't know anybody any jobs. It was, you know, I made it basically on my own, and so I was looking for some help, and I talked to some people over in John Russlow's office, and he was a congressman at that time. And so Beth Wooden said, I said to Beth, I said, give me 3 names of some people, you know, that I could have run my office. And so she gave me 3 names, and I said, okay, now let's cut through the smoke. I don't like to, you know, I don't like to go out and do all that stuff. Circle of one you think is right for, would be right for me. So she circled Peggy View's name. She's a nut. So, she said, that's the one you need. She said. So we went down. My wife and I went down to her house, and she worked for the Census Bureau. She was a bureaucrat. So I talked to her down there, and I was very impressed. She was humorous and kind of had a pretty good conservative philosophy and a good Christian. So I said to her, you know, I think you're the one I'm looking for, and that's what Beth Wooden said. And I said, so can you come to work for me? And she says, no. She says, I got a project for the Census Bureau, and I've got to finish it. It'll take me at least 2 weeks to finish it. I said to my wife, I said, can you believe that? A bureaucrat that cares? Give me a break. She came to work for me and worked for me for pay for 23 years. Now she works for me for free. You know, what the heck, I have good money. But,
And I'm almost as old as him.
yeah. But you know, in our office we had that spirit. We had the people that were working in my office had the best interest of this country at heart. And that's where it's all about. I was surprised the other day when Anthony Adams spoke at the Rotary Club up in Crestline, and he said, well, I was sent up there to cast the hard vote. Well, the hard vote, my friends, is to protect the people against the bureaucrats. Anyone can go up there. Anyone can go and be popular with the club. Unfortunately, Dana and Tom and I have never been popular with the club. But be that as it may, you may be in the great social circles up there. And Washington, D.C. is no different than Sacramento. But your mission is to go there and protect the people. We once stood against a tax increase. There were 10 of us. And they call us cavemen. See, the Democrats and liberals, when they can't argue the point, they love to call you names, and they brand you. You know, you're a bunch of Nathaniels, you know. And they even ran a thing in the paper with all of us sitting around a stone table. You know, it was a great. I have it, and it's really neat. The 10 of us. And but anyhow, it's a plaque of honor with us because we stood our ground on the tax increases. And, you know, when you're standing up against the bureaucrats and sometimes even your friends, sometimes even you have to say no to your friends when they come up and ask you to vote for something that you know is not right with the district. That district I represented. I didn't represent it all the way out to Apple Valley because they kind of stretched it this year under the reapportionment, but that district is one of the strongest Republican districts in this state. That district deserved a representative that would not only go there and not vote against taxes, but would fight to have the other folks not vote against taxes. To go down to the governor's desk, as Tom and I had done lots of times, and pound on the desk and say, no, this is wrong and we're not going to go for it. That's where he should have been. But he took your votes, the votes of that district. One of the most valuable things that you can give a politician is your vote. He then goes to represent you. And when you take that and he violates that vote, he stole your vote. As much as Acorn has falsified the vote, that politician falsified the vote when he went and got it. And it's like Dana Rohrabacher just said. Congressman Rohrabacher said it right. He stole your vote. And that is true. And you need somebody to go up there, fight the good fight. I've had people up in Sacramento call me and said, man, I hope you make it up here. We need some adult leadership. These guys need adult supervision. So when they called me and they asked me to do this, I checked with my wife. My wife is not as well as she could be. And then I said, I won't do it if you don't think I should. And she says, you got to do what you got to do. This is about our grandkids. This is about leaving a country for our grandkids that's better than we found it. Give them the opportunity to succeed. That's what this is all about. Go do it.
Amen.
That's where it is. It's a mission that I only promised to do for a year. Because there's a lot of fish out in that doggone ocean, and I missed a couple of them. So with that, you know, I just want to thank everybody that's donated money and put the effort into it because it's right for the district, and this will send a shockwave not only in California but across this country. We need to clean our own house. If we expect to criticize a Democrat, you better clean your own house.
Amen.
Period. Thank you very much.